Right, so Mark Gurman's given us updates regarding the release and the design of the M2 MacBook Air, and so let's delve into it. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so for the first time in a very long time, Mark Gurman gives us a precise time frame as to when we should expect the M2 MacBook Air, and that is 6 to 8 months from now. And well, that basically means we should see the M2 MacBook Air launch within April to June. Now that perfectly falls between two big events for Apple in the first half of the year, which of course is the spring event and Dub. Now as to which event we should see the MacBook Air launch in, I'm not entirely sure, because on one side, WWDC has always been focused on prosumers and developers, and the MacBook Air really is not for prosumers. It's a mass consumer type device, and so it might not have a place within the WWDC keynote. And so while a spring event release makes more sense, we should also see the iMac and the Mac Mini with the M1 Max and the M1 Pro chips launch at this event. And to be honest, I don't see Apple launching the M2 alongside these M1 Max and M1 Pro machines, because M2 is a higher number and so many consumers are going to think the MacBook Air is better than the iMac and also the Mac Mini. So I do think Apple should space out the release of these M1 Pro machines and the M2 Max. And so I guess because of that, a WWDC release for the MacBook Air does make more sense. And also do remember that we're expecting the Mac Pro at this event, and I can see maybe the Mac Pro chip being named as the M2 Pro Max. And so of course Apple releasing M2 and the M2 Pro Max at the same event could make sense. And to add to this, we do have Min-Chi Kuo also saying that we should see a mid-2022 release. That basically means WWDC, so I do think there is a pretty good chance we see the MacBook Air launch at Dub. Although I don't want to completely rule out the possibility of an October/November release, that still makes the most sense to me, so yes, we shall wait and see if Gurman ends up being wrong about this tidbit. Now the next thing Gurman says is that the MacBook Air is going to see a massive redesign, and this is going to be its biggest redesign since 2010. And this is pretty obvious news for the most part, since we know that we should be expecting a complete redesign that should be very similar to the 24-inch iMac. So yeah, white bezels, new colors, a full function row, and also the possibility of a notch. Now to be honest, I am still hoping we either get white bezels or black bezels with a notch, because if we get both white bezels and a notch, that's going to be terrible in my opinion. You see, I don't mind the notch on the MacBook Pros because they blend into the background, but of course that would not be the case with white bezels. The notch would be an eyesore, and so I do think the right move would be to at least offer a space grey version of the MacBook Air, because I do know many who do want black bezels on their Mac, and of course the MacBook Air is way more popular than the iMac. As for other changes, we should no longer see the iconic wedge-shaped design, which I think is a little odd, but anyways, we instead are getting a flat, thinner design with these new MacBooks. Oh, and also with the redesign, we should see MagSafe on the sides. Now finally, Gurman reiterates his leaks on the M2, so this is going to have the same layout as the M1, so 4 power cores and 4 efficiency cores, but instead of the A14 cores, we have new A15 cores, which are slightly faster, and we do also have 10 GPU cores. Anyways, tell me in the comments below guys, when do you think the M2 MacBook Air is going to release? Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the video in the icon above on details regarding the M1 Max iMac, and on that note I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya peeps!